What's going on, everybody? Today I have a review on the TJX Kin X. Now, there's been a lot of conversation around this pad whenever there is everything going on with Melon. There was another Aimer reviewer that I don't know off the top of my head, but they had specifically mentioned that skates on this pad just immediately get destroyed, and I intentionally waited to use this pad for a longer period of time to see if I had the same issues and problems that other people had. And before I get into that, kind of just going through this really quick, I bought the large size, so this is 505 by 405. I think it's the closest option that they have to the typical 490 by 420. I know there's some people that love the 500 by 500. It gives them a little bit more space. Personally, I think the 490 by 420 is honestly perfect for me. I've never really had issues running out of space on the 490 by 420. So having a 505 by 405 really comes in at a good spot for me whenever it comes to using pads from TJX. Two, whenever we talk about the base, I know that the original reviewer units had full coverage. This has a carbon fiber vinyl on the back and then has 4 silicone pads. And to me, it really comes down to practicality. If you want something that is premium as possible, do you want full coverage? Yes. But having these 4 silicone pads, I mean, putting any amount of force, this pad is not moving at all. So from a practical standpoint, it truly doesn't really matter. I think if you go to buy a glass pad, you're not specifically looking for if it has full coverage or not. Does it stick to the desk? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's move on. I specifically wanted to use this pad longer for 2 reasons. One, there was issues with, hey, I'm getting certain bubbles or something on the pad itself. Number 2 was the other Aimer reviewer who had mentioned that whenever they use this pad, that the skates that they use get destroyed after minimal use. After more than a month of use, I've used several different mice. Most of my time was honestly on the XM2. I was originally using the Aether control dots on this mouse, and I was specifically testing those because I'm going to have a review coming out with several different skates that I've been testing. But using the Aether dots on this pad was honestly my worst experience. Whenever it came to general just tracking, I just didn't feel comfortable. It felt scratchy. And one thing that I noticed is I had to clean the skates. I rarely have to clean the skates for any skates that I use, but I had to clean the skates a lot because the skate was like peeling, so I had to like kind of scratch it off a little bit and then it was fine. But I had to do that quite a bit on the Aether skates. And the one thing that I kind of realized is it's not really the pad itself. It's kind of just the way that the surface is. So whenever you think of any other glass pad, like I think of whenever I was talking about the Curison Shogun a couple of weeks back. So whenever you talk about the Curison Shogun, it's a black pad. Whenever you get any hair, like that pad attracts literally everything, and it's super noticeable. You try and clean it, it's still there. And like it just attracts everything. This pad is probably, whenever it comes to glass, I know it's not technically glass with the way that TJX creates it with ceramic, but this pad attracts everything. And because it attracts everything, if you just clean it, like at the beginning, before you play, you clean it. During whenever you are playing and you feel like it's a little off, if you just clean it, that goes away. Like entirely. I switched skates. I've had 0 issues switching from the Aether control dots. I switched over to the Silver Foxes. I've had 0 issues since then. This pad just needs to get cleaned more often, and if you clean it more often, I've had 0 issues after that. Those are the 2 main things that I kind of wanted to see. I wanted to use it for a long period of time. Do I have any inconsistency in the pad anywhere? I don't have any inconsistencies. I don't have any bubbles. I don't have anything on the surface of the pad. It still looks incredible. Whenever we talk about the surface and the overall performance, I've really enjoyed using this pad. I think there's so many companies that are trying to push for how can we make it as fast as possible. I applaud TJX for continuing to focus on providing something that's controlled, that's ceramic, and not as fast as possible. I think they've stuck to what has worked for them in the past. It's what they wanted to create, and having the Kin X still continue that, having a similar level of static friction to the Kin V2, then having a little bit more dynamic whenever you're using the pad and just having a more controlled experience, I think is honestly something that should be commended, because I feel like there's not very many companies that are trying to offer a controlled glass type. I know this is ceramic, but you know what I mean. Anyways, whenever we talk about performance overall, I really enjoyed using this. I specifically like using it whenever it's more tracking heavy. So things like Call of Duty, I really enjoy. Things like Fortnite, I really enjoy. Having a pad that is slower on the speed spectrum offers a really smooth, comfortable surface. You have no issues. I mean, there's no need to have any kind of arm sleeve whenever you're using this pad, but having a comfortable surface to use and then still having a good controlled surface, there's not very many. And I think taking what they've done in the original Kins and then taking it to this version, I think they did a really good job. On top of the fact that you get to customize it however you want to, is really just another step to just offering what customers and what the community wants. If you have any other questions, feel free to throw them in the comment section down below, and I will catch you all next time. Start a riot.